Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions trying new makeup. I look a little bit crazy right now because I have my brows on because I'm going to start with my eyes, but I want to show you some of the stuff we're going to be using today. I have so much new makeup and I'm just getting over being sick, so I'm feeling a little bit better, so we're back to filming. The products we're going to be trying today are the Gripping Primer from CoverFX. We have the Sugar Rush Hydrator, the Benefit Roller Lash in brown. We have the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. I cannot wait to bust into that. Also, the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Mist. We have the Milani Stick Foundation as well as the concealer. I bought it a while ago and haven't used it. We have a Deck of Scarlet palette, and then we also have a Morphe bronzer. We have some other stuff too. These are the things I know I'm going to use, and then I'm going to decide like with lip color and stuff what I want to use. So if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe. Don't let the brows scare you away. I know that they look crazy, and let's get into trying a bunch of new stuff. I'm going to start off with the eyes because I want to use some tape on the outer edges to really get that crisp line. So I'm going to be using the Special Edition Deck of Scarlet eyeshadow palette. I am partnering with them to demo this palette, so they are sponsoring this portion of the video. I'm just going to show you some swatches and we're going to apply it on the eyes. I don't know what I'm going to do. I never know. I'm just going to kind of play around and see what I can come up with. I've worked with Deck of Scarlet tons of different times, and if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I was an artist-in-chief way back when. So they really are a special brand to me. This is something I've never seen from them. If you're not familiar with Deck of Scarlet, I'm going to give you kind of a rundown. It's a subscription service or a makeup line. It feels like it's a makeup line now because they're kind of coming out with a bunch of different stuff. Like I said, the lipsticks, and now they've got this palette that's different. Now they do usually collaborate with YouTuber. This month it is Stephanie Lange. I have heard of her and I've seen her videos before. She's really talented, but this is a different palette than I've seen them do before, which is really cool. So it's got this beautiful gold packaging. See if I can get this to focus. And then the inside of it has a mirror, and you get 10 different shades. So you get 5 mattes and 5 shimmers, which I think is a really nice kind of mix. So starting this year, Deck of Scarlet is actually going monthly, meaning that you can get something every month. They do give you a preview when you subscribe, and if you're not feeling it, you can skip it. And they're going to do a bunch of different stuff, like the lipsticks I said, or the eyeshadows. So different options, not just the same kind of curated YouTuber collaboration. The palette we're going to be using today is the Destination Desert palette. Now this is the collab with Stephanie Lange. You also do get a double-sided brush. You get like a smudger for the lower lash line and then a blending brush as well. So we will use that in this demo. So before we get started, I do have a 30% off code and a link. So I'll put it on the screen and down below just in case you're interested while we get moving here. And let's get into trying this. I really am eyeing, like, these 3 shades right here are calling my name, so let's see what we can come up with. First, I'm going to go into the shade Wildflower. So I did prime my lids, and I'm just going to use this as a transition shade. Whoa. Wow, okay, that's like more pigmented than I was expecting. Wow, that's very pigmented. I like thought it was going to be more of a light wash, but... So I laid down that color, and then I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush. Just blend over the edges just because I was a little heavy-handed. So I went back to my old lens. I don't want to say old because they're both really expensive lenses, but I did switch to a different lens. I forget, like 6 months ago maybe I upgraded. I was missing the blurry background, and I don't know, I just can't seem to decide. I feel like for Instagram, plain backgrounds tend to look better, but for YouTube it just feels really cold. So I just can't decide what I want to do. But hopefully this lighting and everything is okay, because once you change the lens, everything changes. And hopefully I don't sound too nasally. But honestly, I haven't put makeup on in like 5 days, and I've been missing it. Okay, now I'm going to go into the shade Nocturnal. I'm going to use the brush that was with the palette, so I'm going to use kind of like the blending side. And the outer, oh my god, these are so pigmented. Okay. I keep going into heavy-handed. I'm like, why am I not learning? But they blend out fine, so that's okay. So I'm going to try to just kind of deepen up. And I am going to take it all the way across like that, and then you can just use another fluffier brush to really blend that out. So I am so over this weather, you guys. Like, it is killing me in my seasonal depression, which I know is like really kind of depressing to talk about, so I don't talk about it that much, but I have been going through it. I feel like every year this happens to me, And I'm just like, if I can just get to spring. But, you know, last week was probably one of the worst weeks I've had in a long time in terms of feeling just so awful for no apparent reason. Like those days when you just can't be bothered to go to the grocery store. It was like just a, you know, a task to shower. And it's like, I should be working, I should be eating healthy, I should be working out. I went to the gym last week. I'm just gonna open up about it because I feel like people want me to talk about it and I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer, but I had a panic attack at the gym last week when I went by myself because I was just like, you know what, I need to go by myself. I used to go by myself quite a bit and I was like getting into a routine, and then I stopped for whatever reason, and so I hadn't been by myself in a long time. Went by myself, was feeling really anxious, but I was like, you know what, push through it. And this is really pretty, by the way. Woo. And I got on the Stairmaster and like 6 minutes in, started seeing stars and like fuzzy, like I felt like I was gonna faint. My heart was racing. Obviously my heart rate was elevated because I was, you know, on the Stairmaster, but it was beyond that. It was like I started panicking like I was going to pass out. So I got off, went to the locker room and just like took some deep breaths, sat down, took some deep breaths, drank some water, and I just like calmed myself. And it's just really embarrassing. It's like, what is wrong with me that I can't do normal things that everybody else seems to do? So yeah, that was like kind of the icing on the cake, and I was like, I just need to chill out for a couple days, let myself rest and stop beating myself up about it. I know that it's irrational, like I know, but you can't change those feelings when you're in it. You know, you have a physical reaction, I guess. So anyways, I don't want to dwell on too much because I feel like it's so sad, or it's depressing, but that's what's been going on with me. So that's why I haven't posted that. And then I got sick. It's been a rough couple weeks, I would say. So I'm still using that same shade, but I'm just using a different brush to really try to beef up these outer edges. These are intense though. They are so pigmented. Okay, I want to jump back into Wildflower. So I'm just using that brush from before, and I just want to add a little bit on the top. I didn't want to lose that kind of sunset vibe. So now I'm going to go into the shade Sahara. Okay, next I'm going to go into the shade Scorched. So I'm going to apply Scorched more in the center. Ooh, wow. And kind of merge the two. Wow, that's beautiful. Alright, so next I want to go in with this Benefit Roller Liner in the brown. I just want to do something different than my typical looks. So I want to do kind of like a thick line and see if it will look good. I'm praying, so we shall see. Alright, so my first impression is that it applied nicely. It went over the shadows nicely. I don't know in terms of a winged liner. I'm pretty picky with my winged liner, but it did do the job for today. So I'm going to pop off and do lashes, and then we will start on the face and it'll start coming together. Okay, so I applied some lashes. I kind of messed up my eyeliner, but we're just going to roll with it. I'm going to start out with this Sugar Rush Don't Hate Hydrate. This is a oil-free moisturizer. Now Sugar Rush is the sister company to Tarte, or like a new brand. It's available at Ulta. It has a light kind of citrusy scent. It feels kind of like a gel, or it looks like a gel. I can't put my finger on what it reminds me of. I'm really excited to try this. This is the Gripping Primer from CoverFX. I did buy this myself. I do get some PR from them, but I didn't receive this. So I ended up getting it off the CoverFX website because it was sold out on Sephora. I think it still is. I'll link it if I can. Here's what it looks like. Definitely just looks like a clear gel. It definitely feels tacky. Oh, wow. That is tacky. That's kind of weird. I don't know. It's been getting like rave reviews. So we're just going to apply it all over. I have a new foundation to try today. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation in light beige. It's a foundation stick. So I haven't really watched that many reviews on this. I just wanted to try it. I did pick it up myself. So we're just going to apply to the skin. I don't have the best luck with foundation sticks, so I'm just going to take a flat brush. Alright, I feel like that gave me like a light coverage. That's kind of weird. Foundation sticks usually have a little bit more coverage, so I'm just going to try to stipple it in a little bit more and build it up. So I actually don't hate the way that it looks on the skin, but I did have to build it up quite a bit. I would say 2.5 layers to get here to kind of a full coverage look. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of work. I would think it would be more pigmented or more coverage, but we're going to move on to the Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. I have the shade Light Nude. Again, I haven't watched too many reviews on this. Oh, it's very creamy. Smells like paint, so that's great. I do like how creamy this feels. It doesn't feel dry at all. When I'm thinking of like comparing it, I'm thinking of like the L'Oreal Infallible one. So let's see what kind of coverage we can get with this. I actually like the way that looks. I feel like it's got a good coverage. Alright, so I set my under eyes and I added a little bit of a contour because I don't have anything new. I'm going to go into this Morphe bronzer in the shade Mega Star. This is quite big and it looks kind of like, reminds me of the, what was it? The Milani, I forget, I feel like this is like a Milani thing, but this is much bigger. It's for your face and your body. This is the medium shade, so I'm just going to use my Smith 112 brush. The shade is definitely warm toned. Okay, so I'm really excited. Before we finish off the eyes, I want to go in with this Natasha Denona Bloom palette. This has 2 powders and 2 creams. It has a cream blush. I've been seeing everybody use this and it seems like it'll blend over powder, so we're just going to go for it and see what happens. So I'm going to start off with the blush right here. So I've grabbed some on my beauty blender and I'm going to just kind of pat it on the back of my hand to kind of calm down the color and then start applying to the cheeks. It's really pretty and I feel like it's blending just fine. Just make sure that you do that on the back of your hand. Okay, so next I'm going to go into the Glow base right here. And I'm going to apply this to the top of the cheekbones. This is supposed to be really subtle. This is just something for the highlighters to grab onto. Now I'm going to go into the Glow Extreme, which is like the glittery powder highlight. Ooh. So pretty. Taking some on my Cupid's bow. So I'm going to go into the shade Sunrise for the eyes. So I'm going to really smoke this out on the lower lash line. These are crazy pigmented. Oh my gosh, I love this. There's been so many colors like this where I really wanted it to make an impact and then it almost just kind of fluffed away, but this is intense. Next, I'm going to go back into the shade Nocturnal, and I'm just going to apply this tight to the lash line. Kind of want to connect it to this outer portion. So for lips, I'm going to outline my lips with BFF3 from ColourPop. They recently sent a ton of lip liners out, and I feel like because the eyes are quite busy, we're going to kind of go for like a neutral lip. Okay, so I applied it and it's a little bit dark, so I blended it in. I'm going to go in with this Jeffree Star Can't Relate lipstick because I just want to bring lightness back to this and I feel like it's just too dark. And then I want to try one of the new So Juicy plumping glosses from ColourPop. I have the shade True Life, which is I think like a pinky kind of shift. Okay, almost forgot to try the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. This packaging is so cute, so let's just shake it up and see how the spritzer is. It's smells really good. The spritzer is nice. So let's put my hair back and apply. Alright guys, so here is my finished makeup, and I want to tell you my thoughts on the product, starting with the Deck of Scarlet palette. I am blown away by these mattes. The way that they blended and how pigmented they were. I couldn't believe how pigmented these two were, just because a lot of times you have to build up those kind of pastel light transition shades, but you could see in the film, I was like, whoa. It was just like I applied it and it was just full punchy pigment, but it didn't grab anywhere. I could blend it out. So highly, highly, highly recommend this. I'm excited they're coming out with more stuff. I really like their lipsticks too. They're liquid lipsticks. If you follow me on Instagram, I was wearing one and you guys went crazy. So if you want to sign up for Deck of Scarlet, I will have a 30% off code and a link down below, and I highly recommend it. I love this company and I love working with them. Moving on to the face products, I really like this Sugar Rush Don't Hate Hydrate Oil-Free Moisturizer. It had a nice light scent, but it didn't irritate, and I feel like it gave me a nice light hydration. I wouldn't say this is for someone that has super dry skin, but if you want something that's going to play well under makeup and just give you enough moisture to get you by, I think you'd really like this. I like that it didn't irritate my skin too. So the gripping primer is really crazy. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Obviously, I have to see how my foundation wears. I can tell you it is so tacky. It felt so strange right when you apply it. Almost when you start blending it out, it feels like glue. And then it kind of calms down a little bit, and I feel like my foundation went over it fine. Like I didn't notice anything. So I'll keep you guys updated, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. So I'm going to keep playing around with it, and I'll have my final thoughts in a couple weeks. In terms of the Milani foundation stick, I like the way that it looks, but it was such a light coverage. I felt like you really had to pack it on. I don't know how much product you get in here. I'm going to kind of roll it up. Yeah, I mean, you don't get that much product. So just with how much I used, I feel like you would probably get maybe 20 uses out of this and it would be gone. Maybe even less than that. I'm not sure. So I like the way that it looks. I don't think it looks bad, but it's not like blowing me away. It didn't grab onto any patches or look weird, but I just feel like you had to use so much to get the coverage that I like. So I'm not sure about that. The concealer, on the other hand, I really like. Like off the jump, I really like it. It's really creamy and it's not drying. Like lately I've been trying like the L'Oreal, I think it's like the Infallible. That one is really drying to me. This one is much more wet and creamy, and I feel like it's just more smoothing. So I really like this. I feel like this could potentially become a favorite. I'm going to keep using it and I'll update soon. The Morphe bronzer I liked as well. I like that it's a really big bronzing pan, and I like that you can use it for your face and body. It blended beautifully. It's a little bit warm, but again, there's 3 shades. I think I chose out the medium color, so I might try the lighter shade just to see if it's a little bit, you know, cooler toned. I could possibly contour with it, but I do like it so far. I like the packaging, and I like that you can use it for your body as well. The Natasha Denona Bloom palette is absolutely gorgeous. I figured I would like it because I love a flushed cheek, and that's kind of what it's all about. I felt like the blush blended beautifully. I didn't have any issues. And I also love the highlighter. It's so pretty. I didn't know if I would love it because it has that kind of peachy tinge, but it really is just so beautiful on the skin tone. So absolutely love that. I figured I would. For lips, the ColourPop lip pencils are just a little bit too slick for me. It kind of sucks because they have so many different colors, but I just have a hard time controlling it. I feel like you could just go and get out of the lines. So I don't love the formula, unfortunately, but I do like these. They feel nice and refreshing on the lips, and they are thick. So if you don't like a thick lip gloss, you're not going to like it. But they remind me of the Lancome Juicy Tubes from way back in the day, or the Victoria's Secret, you know, little lip glosses. So they are thick, but I like that because that means they're going to hang on for a while. In terms of this Watermelon Glow, I like the mister on it. I feel like it didn't make me sticky or, you know, super dewy. It was just kind of a light kind of set down of your powder. So I'll have to play with this some more. I'm not sure exactly my thoughts on it, but I'll update. I'll keep using it and kind of update you guys. So that is everything for this trying new makeup video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and you got to see some new products in action that you were eyeing. Let me know down below if you've tried any of this or what you want to pick up. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to check out Deck of Scarlet. I will have it linked. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.